And good morning,
Good morning. Good
coffee.
morning.
October edition. Here we are, fully into October, full speed ahead, full steam.
Yeah,
Uh,
crazy.
I
We
know
made
it's
it.
already middle of October. We're weeks away from SEMA. There's a million things going on.
Mhm.
And Sydney and I are tired because we've been
Yeah,
really busy. So,
yeah, gosh. It's funny how I was thinking of that yesterday, is that I always forget how painful October is. Every year it just with everything going on, it seems to be that there's always a lot of travel and the weather changes. For me, I've got crazy kids, football, sports, and then just life turns crazy and then it's all about SEMA prep, right? And SEMA prep is no joke, even if it's just mentally. Like, I wouldn't say that physically we have a ton to do. A lot of it's like mental and like mental checking the boxes.
yep.
And that is just crazy to me. I have an arts and crafts project that I'm working on. So if anybody's coming to SEMA, you got to make sure you come to our booth. And that is like, I want it to be so perfect. And so that's consuming some of my mental space, not necessarily, it's not taking a long time, it's just mental space. Um, but other than that, like October's crazy and I can't even believe it's already half over. Didn't it just
Yeah,
start?
no, I mean, Bob and I have
Just
been
started.
scheduling, distributor visits and events for SEMA already. And
Yeah.
there's all the emails that go with that. And then, of
Yeah.
course, we're heading into the holidays. God help us. It's going to be Thanksgiving
Yeah.
before we know it. But
Yeah.
before that, of course, Canadian Thanksgiving was this
Hmm.
past weekend.
Yes.
Good
Yes.
morning, Alex. My wife was just up there with her mom over the Thanksgiving holiday for Canada.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
crazy time for everybody. Lots going on.
Yeah.
We'll see each other in person here in a couple of days. We'll talk about those events coming up.
Yep.
Um, but aside from just all the stuff on our plate, there's also the fact that you're actually kind of off the event summer season and back into full detail, full time, full mode all the time with you. And you had a full shop last week.
Yeah, and I joke about this a lot that like my shop runs great and it's all great until it comes to the scheduling person. And
Right.
she is just
She's
ridiculous.
terrible. Yeah.
Ridiculous. So last week I had a full week. Um During the summer and everything, I was trying to take, a day, at least one day off a week to do everything else I have to do. Not that I get the day off, but do everything else I need to do.
Yep.
And the last couple weeks, I've been so slammed that I haven't been able to take a day off. So it's been like 180% all the time. And last week, so I had a previous customer get a new Sprinter van. I did his Sprinter van a couple years ago. Some of you may remember it. It was gray. I did it. I took it to the rag company. So there's a bunch of videos filmed at the rag company, and then it's also the one that um, I actually tested Defender on top of Legend. So this was 2 years ago. And it was the first one where we realized what Defender looked like on top of Legend. So that was super fun. And so it was this customer. And so he bought a brand new red Mercedes Sprinter. And, I have the advantage of sometimes I get to preview cars just by seeing them on the street because a lot of them, are within my vicinity. And so I would pass this gentleman every morning when I went to get my coffee and I would see it. And all week it was like the looming, like, oh my gosh, in a couple days. And, at this point, I've been open for 13 years and I've made my shop very comfy, cozy with air conditioning and heat and nice flooring and the whole bit, right? Speakers, lights. And so I'm not used to working outside. I mean, I started working outside, so it's not like I can't do it, but I prefer not to. And so with the Sprinter van, I was stuck outside for 2 days and I just wasn't mentally prepared for it.
Well, and that's coming off. You had another truck not too long ago, within a week, that you also was too big for your shop
Yes,
to
yep,
do it
yeah,
outside. So
an
you kind of
F-250.
were going back in time for a couple of weeks there.
Yeah, yeah, and then the other problem, Keith, as you know, because sometimes we're on the phone with each other, is if my garage door's open, you can bet on adding 3 hours to your day if my garage door's open, because every neighbor in the world stops and wants to talk.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like it is attraction like magnets. They will, if they see my door open, everyone comes and they want to stop and talk. And oh my gosh, it cost me so much time. I love it. I love my neighbors, love people being friendly, not complaining about that, but it does add 3 hours to my day. So the Sprinter van, I told the guy I'd be done in one day. That was ridiculous. It was completely covered in water spots from the dealership. Like, I swear they just take a hose and spray them down every day.
Yeah, they
And
do.
so completely covered in water spots. So I had to start with acid washing it, and then I had to polish the whole thing, and I'm up and down off platforms, and I hate climbing those things too. Um, so got quite the workout there. And so I didn't get done polishing it until night one, and then had to text the customer and say, yeah, no, we're not done. But then that day, my car for Friday got dropped off, and that was a red Toyota 4Runner that was 2 years old, and the people had let their son take it hunting somewhere in the back fields of Idaho. And literally, he must have driven through sagebrush. I mean, through
Well,
it.
our friends from Arizona, our friends, the Croziers always call that Arizona
Yeah.
pinstriping.
Yeah, we call
Just
it Idaho pinstripe. But
drive
I'm
through the
talking, it was like from the middle of the windows all the way down to the running boards, like 100%, both sides, full coverage. And why I scheduled that right after a Sprinter van, I don't know, other than at the time it was my first appointment. I knew that, the gal whose car it was absolutely losing it, and I didn't want her to kill her son. So I booked it the day after the Sprinter van with heavy paint correction, which y'all know I don't like to do. So it was just a lot. It was a lot of polishing last week, and it was a lot. Yeah, I think I might have cried a couple times. Um, it was
well, and
rough,
it was a lot
but
of red because they were
it
both
was,
red.
yes, it was a
Although
lot
you
of red.
didn't tell the total truth about your Sprinter because that was and a lot of people may not know this in the detail game, but Mercedes Sprinters typically are commercial vehicles, and when they
Oh,
are, they're single
right.
stage
It
paint.
was single stage paint.
Yeah, so
So
which is
it looked
cool because you got
It
to
was
use
cool.
the
It
toys on it,
corrected
but
yeah, it corrected super fast, but it looked like a murder scene in my shop. I mean, I was all red, like, I had red paint all over me. Every single towel, I like to use white towels. Every single towel was red. My pads were all red. The good news is it all washed out, but, yeah, it looked like a murder scene. I mean, it was crazy. But that being said, it was so rough, and I wanted to cry and all the things, but I will say both of them like nailed it. Like the Sprinter, I just posted a video last night. The Sprinter van turned out so
looks
amazing.
wicked. And by the way, the video looks wicked,
So
as you said.
yeah,
Yeah, I've
so
watched
amazing. I mean, I've never seen a Sprinter van look like that. We all know they're all hammered. Absolutely came out amazing. It looked so good. And then the 4Runner, which I honestly thought there's no way I'm going to get this out. It was one of those where I was like, why did I take this job? Because I don't think these scratches are going to come out, and I think they're going to end up canceling the ceramic. And so I was actually really nervous about it. And it took a lot of work, but I mean, like 88% correction, which is really high if we're
Yeah.
being honest, right? It looked insane, insane. And I didn't get done with that till Saturday at 3 o'clock. So it was really rough, but it looked so good. So
Well, it's
good.
a good thing the Boise State game was the late game, so you
Yes, it
didn't
was
have
at
to miss
9 p.m.
that.
Yep, yep. So I had to have something to take my Saturday at. But so they both turned out absolutely wicked. I felt like some sort of superhero. And then I proceeded to literally sit on the couch or in bed for the entire rest of the weekend because I was absolutely wiped out
Yeah.
mentally, physically. But I did do all of my laundry, all my car laundry. My shop's pretty clean, and I have another red Tahoe today. So, but it should be pretty easy. So, but
Well,
yeah,
Toyota
kicked
paint
my
can be
butt.
pretty finicky. I mean, that was, and
Hmm.
I remember when you were talking to me on the phone about it, and
Hmm.
so you did a two-step on that, right?
I did, yes, and I don't like to
Mhm.
do two steps.
No, because we're bougie like that. We like one-step
Right. I like
processes.
I like you get what you get and don't throw a fit. That's like my motto. Yeah. No, I had to do a two-step because I had to use my forced rotation polisher. That was just the only way to go, right? I mean, when you have that heavy of defects, you got to really get after it. So that was the other thing is my muscle engagement is not forced rotation polishers. And so that was interesting. And I mean, I had to just go over the whole thing with, a pretty heavy compound, went great, and then had to go back over. I actually went back over with Rehab. I could have went back over with a polish, but Rehab worked great, and I used Rehab on the Sprinter van too. Um, and so that went great. I just went back over with Rehab and an orange pad, and it made it look perfect. So I was happy with that level of correction. And even though it was a two-step, because I was using the right machine, the right pad, and the right product on step one, I was really just grinding them out. And then step two was the refining step that it really wasn't that bad. I think a lot of it is if you have the right tools and the right products, the two-step isn't that bad. But
No, and you were using some special tools too. So
yeah.
wait for you to talk about those when the time comes. But
Yeah, I don't know if I could talk about them yet, but yeah, I was using awesome tools. So I was super excited about that. So yeah. But yeah, Rehab for the win all every day, all day. So I don't even need to say it. Obviously, my product of the week again for like the 8th week in a row is Rehab. If you guys have not tried this yet, Rehab is, gosh, when I look back at my career of paint correction, it it is amazing. It really, really is amazing. And speaking of Rehab, what happened last week, Keith, with Rehab?
well, I seem to recall some new bottles showed up, so that was
Yes,
cool. We got the 8 ounce.
yes.
So we decided not to go with a pint in that. We went to the eight
Mhm,
ounce, which I think is
mhm.
great because it really fits
Yeah,
kind of in the tool belt, the pocket, whatever you want. It's a really good size. And then we went to the gallon size. And
yeah.
so for those of you doing Sprinter vans every day, you might want to
Mhm.
get Rehab in a gallon. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah, so that's kind of exciting because
Yeah.
um, we really, I think from within the first couple of weeks, people said, we
Mhm.
want other sizes
Yeah.
because they really like the Rehab options,
Mhm.
and so now they're
Yeah.
available. And all the distributors have them and access to them. They've been out for a couple of weeks for
Mhm.
them, so they should be on shelves at a distributor near you. Um, yeah,
Yep.
so Rehab was cool, and
Yeah.
there's more to come on that front when it comes
Mhm.
to not so much sizes but some cool new stuff. And
Mhm.
that's all coming at SEMA. So
Mhm.
don't ask us. We're not telling. It's all coming at SEMA. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, we
we
do
have
have
lots of
really
components while
we
we're
do.
here. And I wanted to say good morning to Alan because
Yes.
at 9 o'clock yesterday morning, we had the international sales meeting for the PNS ATG
Oh my
group
goodness.
between Alan, Hector, and myself to catch up. So you talk about busy and things not
Mhm.
falling where they should. Sunday was the day we could do it, so we did it.
Wow.
So, lots of that coming
Crazy.
up. It's going to be a hectic couple of weeks, but we're going to have some fun. Speaking of fun, Joey has chimed
Joey.
in, and we're going to see him this week because we have stuff coming up.
Yes. Good morning, friends. The only people to get me up this early on a day off. And sometimes he sleeps in. So good job, Joey. Good job
Yeah,
getting up.
usually he catches the
The
recorded session.
replay. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
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 Anna says the weather's going to be perfect until 2 p.m. in Seattle. Then rain for days. Back in the city working on the interstate. Ugh. So you know what? That's what I was doing when the show first started. I was checking weather because since I'm complaining and then I'm going to stop, is I have a boat tomorrow.
Oh,
Gosh, a whole boat that I haven't seen before. So I'm very nervous. And it's outside, but so it's supposed to be 82 and then it's 56 the whole rest of the week. But so wish me luck on that. But I'm sorry about the rain. That's a
outdoors
bummer.
all the time for you, Sid. You
Yeah.
might. Is it throwback month? You're just going back to
I
your roots?
don't
What's going on
know.
here?
I don't know, but I tell you, I'm not cut out for this anymore. I'm not gonna lie. I can still look like a badass, but I am not one inside, I promise. Good
Yeah.
morning, JB from Ron.
Yeah, so, and that's the other thing that's happening is the days are getting shorter.
Yes, yes,
Um,
that's killing me.
and I've been out mowing the lawn and doing all my
Mhm.
stuff, and I was so happy to get my mower reconned this year
Yes, yes.
because I got the headlights working, and I actually needed them a couple days ago,
Mhm.
and now I don't need them anymore because I broke the rear axle on it, so that's kind of a bummer.
That's funny. We're literally watching the sun rise behind me. I don't know if you guys noticed that. It was dark when we started.
Yeah, it's we got an hour before we see any daylight around here. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, you've got to work fast on the boat because you're going to run out of daylight.
Yeah. Yeah, so I probably won't just because of the temperatures, 'cause like right now it's like 40 degrees. So we right now in Idaho, it's like really cold in the morning and really cold at night, but in the middle of the day we've got some warmth. So it will be kind of crazy because I probably won't start till like 10:30 and then I've got to finish by like 4:30. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
Good
but I
morning,
will say
CNS team.
this has always been my favorite time of year.
Oh, it
Um,
is. Yeah.
we used to have the Central Washington State Fair when I lived up in Yakima. It was always the last weekend of September, first weekend October, and you get those cool mornings and the fresh air, and then kind of
Mhm.
the world woke up and it got warm and it was great, and then you got into the
Mhm.
evening, you had to put on the jacket, and it was just the fall weather was just perfect. And I do like
Mhm.
this time of year. It's one of my favorite times of year for us to be out there, but it does mean shorter
Mhm.
days if you're outside detailing. It means working in
Mhm.
your garage with the lights on in the morning because there's no
Mhm.
daylight, so you get that
Mhm.
going.
Yep. Yep.
Um, we are
Good
open for
morning.
questions. Should we maybe talk a little about the schedule coming up, and that way
Yeah.
anybody
Yeah,
wants to
let's talk
know?
about the schedule real quick. So, what are we doing this week? We've got well, you're obviously in the training center.
I am. So it's coding class day today. We got 5 students. Somehow the system is set for 4, but we booked 5, so we're gonna have 5
Mhm.
students today, which is great.
Perfect.
And then tomorrow we have the full detail class. Then Wednesday, and if you are a certified detailer in the San Francisco area, we're doing our global skills validation day at PNS. So I will be here doing students who want to come in and get their skills validated testing done. We
Mhm.
have a few folks signed up, but there's plenty of slots open if anybody wants to come in. And then Thursday morning, we're going to the airport because we got to pick up Sid. Bob and I
Yeah.
are doing actually 3 Bullet Thursdays this week, which is our distributor
Yes.
podcast.
Yes.
And we'll do that. And then we're going to get you at the airport and we go to Bay Area Car Care for an open house
Mhm.
and tech talk kind of
Yep.
event. And then when we're done with that, we're going to go to Santa Rosa because the next day at Golden Gate North, the team is
Mhm.
at their place and we're doing kind of a,
Mhm.
a 3 skill kind of training event.
Yeah.
So it'll be around robin. We'll rotate folks through.
Mhm.
And if you're in that area, please come check us out, hang out with us. And
Mhm.
then we get to go home for the weekend. And then it's back on the road again the next week because the
Mhm.
next week we're going to Chicago.
I'm wearing my car supplies warehouse shirt today.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. So Chicago, we're going Car Supplies Warehouse. Got some video shoots to do. We're doing an extreme 1-day kind of exterior class with
Mhm.
them.
Yeah.
Um, and then we're home for the weekend again, and then we go
Saturday,
to SEMA.
Sunday. Mhm.
Yeah, and then we're at SEMA. So, and then SEMA's chock full of all sorts of good.
Yeah. So real quick programming alert because we just gave you our whole schedule. Um, 2 weeks from today would be October 28th,
Mhm.
and, I have a personal trip in there, taking my daughter to Vegas for 2 football games, Boise State versus UNLV. It's gonna be a huge game. Boise State is killing it right now. And
Yep.
then, so we do that Friday night, and then Sunday is the Chiefs Raiders game. So I'm taking her to that. So I will be on a plane Monday morning at 7 a.m., leaving Vegas, um, just prior to our Chicago trip. So we are actually going to move Bead Maker and Coffee to Tuesday, the 29th. So we'll let everybody know that, but we're going to have just a slight schedule change. We're not going to miss it. We're just going to move it to Tuesday because I will be on an airplane on Monday. So super fun.
Yeah, which is great. So
Yeah.
lots of folks checking in. Hey, we got first from Puerto Rico
Scott.
again. Scott
Yep.
Graves. Good morning, Scott.
Morning.
By the way, I'm gonna tell on myself here. So
I was going to say don't tell, but go ahead.
Scott does his special kegs, which are fantastic, right? And he sent me one, and thank you, Scott, for that. Um, I went out and detailed the yard with it. I put some Roundup in it to knock the blackberries back. And I got to tell you, man, that is a nice tool. And then I was out there just killing blackberries this weekend.
Oh
So
my goodness. That's
um,
so funny.
I will clean it. It'll get ready. We'll put it back into detail rotation because after SEMA, we're going down to Southern Oregon to Roseburg to do a
Mhm.
special class with at Electric Rose with Lindsay,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's going to be a fantastic class. You and I are going to go
Mhm.
because we might be playing with some new toys that week, which will
Yep.
be cool. But I will have the tank all primed and ready to go with the Absolute in it. So, yes, Scott, I will tune it up and make sure it's right. But it does work really well with the weed killer. So
That's awesome. That's
you
awesome.
know, if you can use it for something it's not designed for, that's what we do in detail.
Right, that's what we do. We
That's
try
what
to
I do.
break stuff. Yep, that's what we do. We try to break stuff.
So,
Good morning.
good morning. So, hey guys, if you got questions, now's the time to hit us up.
Mhm.
We won't tell too many stories, but there's some new cool stuff on the horizon, so it's going to be fun.
Mhm. You're working from home today and the kids are home. Ah, that's so hard. Yeah. Save me. So I in Idaho, it's a holiday, right? Is it like Columbus Day or something?
It is Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day, as they say.
Yeah. Yeah. So my husband works for the state, so he's home, but the benefit of that was he went and got my coffee this morning, so I got to sleep for 30 minutes extra. But my son is at school. So school is still in, but workers are not. So
Well, you got a boat, right?
no, tomorrow. I have the red Tahoe today.
Well, put
Yeah,
them to
which
work.
I know. Well, it's best if he You know, that's how relationships work. You gotta know your limits. He's
Gotta know what.
really he's
Yeah.
really, really good at cleaning his own car. Really good at cleaning his own car. Good morning, Anna and Christy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you
Bradley
gotta know your
Bradshaw.
limits on the relationship thing because Lisa and I, she was only home for a day and,
I
uh,
saw she detailed her mom's walker. That was nice.
yeah, I said she should detail her own car, and she told me to shut up, that's my job, so
Yeah, yeah.
there we go.
Yep.
That's how that
So
works.
Bradley, we're gonna get him banner number 3 on its way if you want to prep that while you're there. Oh yes, last week was red car week. No kidding. And apparently it still is this week, at least today.
Yeah, well, what
But
color is the boat?
oh God, please let it be white. That's all I know. Please let it be white. Good
Mm.
morning, Mike Carlin. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Mike, what's going on, buddy? So Anna's with us today.
Yeah, and who did I see is coming to Chicago? Who was that signed up? I saw somebody signed up for Chicago.
I
I
got
don't think it was Anna. It was somebody else.
I didn't go past it yet, did I? I don't know.
Somebody said I'm all signed up for Chicago,
Oh,
but I don't remember
cool.
who it was now. Maybe was it Christy? I can't remember.
Might been.
Hans, look, you changed your little handle. It's Hansel.
Ooh, I like it.
Hello, guys. Currently busy with a camper that had been washed in wheel acid and then left to 12 or 20 minutes. Dang, this thing is dull and still has some streaks. Yeah. Ugh, that sounds awful.
Well, just when we think it could be worse, it
Yeah,
isn't. So,
right.
you know.
Well, Hans works on stuff like that all the time. And so I can't imagine. So my hat's off to you, Hans. That sounds really difficult.
Yeah, he
I could
fights.
only do one Sprinter van a year. It's like I gotta forget what that felt like. Good morning, JB, Doer, Humberto, and Christy.
Nice. Turbo detailing, huh? Nice. Man, everybody's just chatting it up today.
So nice. Everybody just good morning. Yes, it is. It is a good morning. It's a good fall morning. I love fall. Fall's my favorite.
Yeah, no,
You know why?
definitely.
Because I like my hoodie sweatshirts. I know you don't like hoodies, but I'm
No,
excited
but
to wear.
I like my
Yeah,
sweatshirt, so I'm good
I
with it.
do like to be cozy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, speaking of football, we're gonna do the day
Yeah,
after Thanksgiving. We're doing the Oregon
yeah,
State Boise State game in Boise. So,
yeah, yeah.
um,
Yep. So
so I'm
excited.
doing Black Friday by going to football game, which
Yep.
leaves my wife unattended, and that means she will find all sorts of
Scary.
fun stuff.
Scary. Mark
All
of
right. Good
Bar.
morning, Mark, and good morning, Ron. You've chimed in a couple of times, and I haven't said anything. So, good morning, Ron.
Good morning, Ron. Yes,
All
it's
right.
crunch time here. We got cars to get ready for football games and to work with, and can't wait for the party too. It's getting fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mark does cars for SEMA every year as well. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
if anybody's doing a car for SEMA, chime in and tell us that you got a car at SEMA this year, and we'll
Yeah.
see if we can't maybe throw that out on the next episode of
Yeah.
Bead Maker and Coffee.
Yep.
And just so everybody knows, the reason why there's no guests is not because nobody wants to hang out with Sydney today,
Right, no.
but
It's
we were
because Sydney
just
had a Sprinter van and a
yeah.
4Runner last week, and I didn't get my
Yeah.
guests on lockdown. That was totally my fault, but you know what? I love having you, Keith, because you know all the stuff I don't know. And I saw another question that you're gonna have to answer because I
Oh,
can't.
boy. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, let's
we're
get to it.
reaching
And good
back.
morning,
Yeah.
Alan.
Alan, yes, the Merc bus was super cool. It was very cool. You know what? So I had like a kitchen inside and stuff. I should have taken a video on the inside and I didn't. But yeah, it was super cool. It turned out so good. Like I know I complained, but it turned out like it's one of those where it's like it's so worth it in the end. It was absolutely worth every single red pad. It turned out so good.
Well, and that thing had some other special surfaces. So the hood was kind of a different material.
Yeah, it was wrapped in matte and then it obviously had what's that textured stuff by all the windows? That
Yeah.
black, like you got to be real careful with polish around that. I taped all the trim off just because the trim pieces on those are notorious for picking up polish and just holding on to it forever. So I taped everything off and, and then it had like water spots all over the plastic. So I had to figure out how to polish the plastic, which I did. And so that was interesting, but then all the glass had so much water spots, and the side glass on those is like a cheap kind of glass, and so you can't ever really get the etching out. So got them about 75%, and then the front windshield was totally fine. But yeah, those Sprinter vans, they just use different types of materials, and you gotta pivot.
Yeah, I drove one for 6 years, and I gotta tell you, the funny thing is the trim is super kind of porous.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, and then it fades real fast. So, you go to stick we
Mhm.
used to use bumper coat on all the time because we
Yeah,
didn't have trim
right.
coatings then.
Yeah.
And God, that stuff on a regular car, the bumper coat lasts a good long while. On
Mhm.
that thing, first rain, and all of a sudden it looks like it's street,
Yeah,
this craziness. So, yeah, sprinters can be a little finicky, will be the word
yeah.
we'll use for today, finicky.
Yep. Yep. Ron says, Sydney, I have a client with a Chevy 3500 dually with roof racks and have to detail outside because it won't fit in my garage. I feel your pain. Yes, absolutely. Mm,
Now,
so
fun
hard.
fact on those roof racks, especially if you've got like the black tube ladder racks, those are also either powder coated or single stage paint, so they clean up a little different. So be
Mhm.
careful.
Yeah. Alex, at least another neighbor dog didn't hop in right on the Sprinter van. That is so true. God, that
I
poor little
forgot about
BMW.
that. Yeah,
I
you
did too. That poor little BMW. That was so funny. Oh, Kyle Camus. We call it cowboy pinstriping in Colorado for the trails or the ranchers. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
this kid, and it was funny, I got a message from the owner of the 4Runner last night, and he said, "Thank you again for all your hard work. My wife is so happy." And our son came over and looked at it, and he's so relieved. I thought, well, I bet he is. And I didn't ask who was paying for it, but yeah, it was pretty funny.
Well, maybe he's paying for the detail part and mom and dad paid for the coating because
Right. He's probably just relieved that he's not out of the family now.
yeah, well, in your family, that could be a thing if they
Oh, yeah.
bring
Yeah,
one home all wrecked up. Yeah.
for sure. For sure. Sydney, I'd have a performance review with your schedule. No kidding. That chick needs to go. That is like my only weak point is the scheduling is just absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Joey, I forgot all about the dog jumping in the car. Me too. Hank, that little Australian shepherd.
Yeah, that was a cute puppy.
Yeah. Hello, Alan. I'm
Yeah.
sure you've heard him bark. He lives next door. He barks all the time.
Oh, is that the one?
Yeah.
I've never seen the dog. I've heard it, but I've never seen the
Yeah,
dog.
he barks all the time. It is red car season.
It is red car season.
It is. And my red car that hadn't been washed, and I'm not kidding, like 2 months, my husband actually washed my car yesterday because it was like so embarrassing. The roof was white. Like it had a white cast across the whole thing because there was so much dirt and dust on the roof. It was awful, but he washed it yesterday. So thank goodness.
I don't know what that comment's about.
Hello, all. Yes, rehab for the win. Scott's been using a
Always
lot of rehab lately. Yes. It is amazing. I just find, and I'm not being biased, I just find that I don't want to use anything else.
Well, we're gonna
I just don't. I don't want to use anything else. I love it.
Speaking of schedulers, your scheduler got in the way of things down here and scheduled me a BMW for today's class. So,
Ooh, I
yes,
wish I was actually there to help you.
yeah, we're doing a noobs car. So I will try to do some good video and some
Nice.
pictures today. So we're going to
That's
do
going
his
to be a
stuff
fun
for
one.
coding classes. Yeah.
That's going to be a fun one. I can't wait to see the pictures. That is the coolest color green. Did it already get dropped off?
No, he actually
Okay.
works in the
He
building.
works there, right?
So
Yeah. Yeah.
so
No,
he
that's
said
going to be
he'll
a fun one.
be in by 8, and which is good because I got to go move a bunch of stuff. Joe
Yeah.
did his best parking job ever
Nice.
over there. So there's
Yeah.
totes
Perfect.
and other things in the way for the moment. So
Nice. Ooh, that's going to be fun. Yeah. Get
yeah.
some video. That's going to be great. David, do you know any sealants? Oh, this is the one for you, so I'll read it. Do you know any sealants or coats that cause, oh no, this isn't the one I was thinking of, that cause sheeting instead of beading? I know they're more short term.
There are some. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. Um,
What about the matte paint sealant? Doesn't that kind of sheet? And that actually is a pretty long-term sealant, really.
Yeah, it's probably 6 months to, maybe a year, depending on driving
Hmm.
conditions. The
Yeah,
nice thing is with that, you can almost wash it in and out, so it's really pretty easy application.
yeah,
Yeah, that's gonna sheet more than it's gonna bead for sure. And you really, to be honest, you don't want beading on a matte finish because then the water spots become hell.
right. Yeah,
Um, and look, everything that causes beading is going to give you an
yeah.
opportunity for that water to sit in a little circle and
And
create a
get
ring.
off.
It's
Yeah,
got any
right.
hardness to it. So
Yeah.
it's not it's not the protection that's causing your water spots by.
Hmm.
I mean, the water spots come from the minerals. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's the only one on our side that I can think of. There's a couple coatings out there that hang their hat on sheeting,
Yeah,
but I can't think of any off the top of my head.
yeah. And so the matte paint sealant, don't let the name scare you. Because it was specifically developed for matte paint, but it can absolutely go on glossy paint as well, but it will give you that same effect of almost the sheeting instead of beading.
Yeah,
You could try that.
this
It's a really strong protection though. It's
Yeah,
just
and it was
it's an
kinda designed
interesting
to wash
application.
in and instead of that spray on effect
Yeah.
because it was going on a matte finish, that's all. So,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
a different application, but it's kind of a cool
Right.
application.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not picking up the diamonds thing.
We were not diamonds were not my best friend. I don't know. I don't know that joke.
I'm not in on that one. Um,
John says, "Good morning, all."
Good morning, all.
Good morning. Oh, Nick
Hey,
Vecchio,
Nick.
look at you.
Yes, the
Thanks for
cowboy
coming.
pinstripe boy himself.
Yes, thanks for coming over. Hannah, mini rehab dropped on the website. It absolutely did. They're so cute too.
Yep, the baby rehab.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
Hans, when will the brother of Rehab sober up and be available? Not sure. Not sure. We're gonna have to do some intervention and find out.
Yeah, a little treatment will work.
The scent of Rehab is my favorite. The performance is pretty darn good too. Yes, the scent is just like a nice little bonus, right?
Yeah, so what is the scent, Sydney? Because I don't think I've nailed it down.
It's the watermelon lemonade.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Huh.
yep. Do you have a SEMA live now so we can see the new products? Nope, you don't get to see them. You don't get to see them until November 4th.
No, Mike's telling us we have to do a SEMA live.
Oh, you have to do a SEMA live now so we can see the new. Oh, got it. I thought you were saying okay.
Yeah, so the week
So
of SEMA, we probably
yeah.
can do a live Tuesday or Wednesday morning. And actually, that'd be kind of fun to do.
Well, but we could actually do it Monday while we're setting up because the new products actually drop Monday morning. So
It
we
could be
can.
unboxing SEMA style.
Yeah, yeah, we'll figure that out because we'll be setting up our booth and everything. So we probably can do that. We
Yeah.
may not let the emails go out until we're ready to show them, just so that the email system doesn't steal our thunder. But yes, as soon as we're all together and we're in the booth, maybe we'll go live to release the new products because there's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, no, there's some cool stuff. And look, there may be
Mhm.
some stuff after SEMA too, which
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
we won't be done when we're done at SEMA. We're
Yeah,
going
we
to have
might
other
have the
stuff
after
to go.
party, and the after party might be the biggest part, but we'll see, right?
Yeah.
Greetings, everyone. I haven't seen any review on social media about the PNS. Oh, this is the one for you, Keith.
Ah,
PNS Carnauba waxes. Do you have any feedback on the Carnauba cream wax or the cherry cream wax? I like Carnauba waxes. I don't use them. So, Keith, you take this.
so I've sold a lot of the Carnauba cream wax. Super easy application, just a straight up old fashioned liquid cream wax, and good protection, but it's a Carnauba, so the temperature dependent, right? You get really hot weather, it's gonna not last as long. The cherry wax, the cherry speed wax, as we call it, is kind of it's got a cleaner wax effect to it, so it's a little bit more friendly to an orbital application and removal. But again, both of those are really easy to remove products. I would say the Carnauba, once you let it set up and kind of dry or haze, maybe a little more work to take off. The cherry speed wax is going to be super easy on and off kind of application. But waxes, we've done so much development with coatings and with the spray sealants that really the cream waxes have gotten left behind, mostly because I think everybody finds them cumbersome to install. But they're great products. They're really nice for older cars. You really don't want to invest a lot of time in correcting or fixing. You just want to put a nice shine to them and make them look good. And they got some depth to them. The Carnauba cream has probably got more depth and more shine to it. The cherry speed wax is going to be more of a cleaner wax. So
Mhm.
I wish I could say they were really super sexy, but they're just kind of stock and trade products that we've had for a long time, and they still do really well for us.
Yep.
Orange
Orange
pad.
pad is what kind of finish? So I'm going to say that the orange falls between the yellow and the blue, buff and shine, right? So it's a little bit more cut than the yellow, but really nice finish like the yellow.
Yeah, I'd call it a
Um,
medium polish. If they call the blue a heavy polish, I'd call it a
yeah,
medium polish, and then the yellow is kind of
yeah,
a light polish.
yeah, yeah. It's really great. Really, really great for the one step, especially.
Yep,
Ron says Rehab rocks. It absolutely does. My
it
goodness.
does. Totally does. So,
David at Hans after the summit in November. I did see there's something going on over there. There's a summit. I've
yeah,
seen
detailing
stuff over
summit.
there in the
I
UK.
think
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Richard's running that one. So,
Yeah.
which hey, those things sound like they've been a pretty good success, and they've had
Hmm.
good attendance at them.
Hmm.
I wasn't able to get to the one in Colorado or in Canada this year, but I understand they were both pretty solid events. So
Hmm.
uh, I don't know, Alex, did you go to the one in Canada? I thought you did. So if you did, Alex, chime in on us.
The Joey says the only thing better than the scent of Rehab is the performance. Yep. So great.
You got to look good and smell good. There you go.
So great. Yep. Yep. All right. Turbo Six says, what is everyone's garage heating method? Well, I've been through them all. So I've tried, when I did work outside years ago, I tried the heated socks, the heated jackets. And then when I was inside, I did the Lowe's used to have a really great heater. It was a red round, it looked like one of those propane heaters, but it was electric. That thing would
Mhm.
heat my garage up in like 30 minutes. I don't think they sell them anymore. Maybe it wasn't safe, but it was great. Those little propane fire ones are pretty nice.
Oh yeah, the
Cost
bullets. Yeah,
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 Costco has those heat dishes now that are pretty nice. The hard part about heating a garage is getting it all over, you know?
yeah.
Now I have a heat pump, what do you call it? A mini split, which is
Yep.
essentially a heat pump and air conditioner. Best money ever spent. Love it. It keeps my garage at the same temperature all year long. But that's, a lot of people probably don't need that. Um,
No,
I
but the
love
nice
it,
part
but
for you on that is you can set the timer on it, and
yeah,
you can have it go off at 4:30 in the morning if you want, so the garage is at
right.
temperature when you get there. And
Yeah.
because it kinda kicks on intermittently, it's a lot more efficient than trying to run a propane thing or,
Yeah.
plug in an elec
Well, and the upfront cost is paying back through the bill because when I used to run that little heater and run a little air conditioner, it was so much more in electricity. So after a couple years, that thing will pay for itself easy.
yeah.
Um, but heating is interesting. I know some people do the heat deals up, in the corner. I think
Yeah.
those work pretty well. But for those, you do have to have a 220 volt. So, that could be another $1,500 to install if you don't already have that. Um,
Yeah,
so
but it's a
yeah,
lot cheaper power-wise because I have
yeah,
in my
yeah,
shop, I've got 2 ceiling
right.
mount wound electric heaters, but they're
Yeah.
120 volt, and
Oh,
they're
cool.
20 amp, but they're 120 volt,
Yeah.
but they eat power. And if
Yeah.
I had 220 in there with those
Mhm.
type of heaters, I probably have about half the heating bill.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, and I've got 2,000 square feet out there and
Right.
14-foot ceilings, so that
Yep.
thing's just it sucks in temperature, you know?
Yep. 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 All right, Joey, this is my favorite time of year actually to let my chemicals dwell and do most of the work. Joey's been like 110 for like 4 months up there in Sacramento.
Yeah,
So yeah, I
yeah,
can
he's in the
totally.
valley up there, and it's always hot, so,
Yeah, he used to have to go wash his car at night and stuff. So yeah, it must be nice
yeah.
to be able to work in the daytime now. Um, Turbo Six saying I can't wait to use it with my new Max Shine. I think he's probably talking about Rehab.
I would guess, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
first from Puerto Rico. In my case, would be how to cool it. Yeah, how to cool your garage. My
Yes.
answer's the same. Yeah. Good luck on that unless you have a mini split. That is hard.
Yeah, that is hard, I mean,
Because I think the biggest thing is not necessarily the heat, it's the humidity. The humidity will get you every time. Oof.
well,
Yeah.
it does, and it certainly affects your coating ability, right? I mean,
Oh,
it
yeah.
really kinda limits some of the products you can use and when you can
Yeah.
use them is the heat and humidity, so,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
And
but
it
again,
affects your
if you can
patience
do the
level. It
mini
affect yeah. That's yeah,
split.
no good. Doesn't Rehab cut when you try to finish with it? Because I can't really understand how a compound polish that cuts can also finish with the same grain structure. Thanks. Just a noob and curious. Well, it's kind of the diminishing abrasive, if you will. So basically what it means is that it's cutting, but it's the technology in the abrasive and the technology in the emulsion system that allows it to not mar the paint like a typical compound. So a typical compound will cut the heck out of the paint and it'll get the scratch out, but it'll leave behind all that fine marring. And this just with the emulsion system and the way the abrasive works, it ends up polishing as well and not leaving that marring.
Yeah, and I think the other thing a lot of folks don't know is if you look at a lot of the compounds and polishes out today, you may have a compound in a product line that is very much the same abrasive in it as is in
Yeah,
the polish, but it'll be
yeah,
the volume of the abrasive that's in there. So in other words,
right.
it might
Yeah.
be 20-30% more abrasive by weight than in the compound than in the polish, and that actually becomes the difference in the effectiveness of the product. So
Yeah.
you get more cut or more hazing or whatever it would be simply by the volume of abrasive, not necessarily by the size of it or the style of it.
Mhm.
And with more abrasive, obviously it breaks down slower because you've got a lot more working. So that can be a more aggressive product. And yet
Yeah.
at the same time, if you balance it right and get the right amount of product with the right type
Mhm.
of diminishing abrasive, you can
Mhm.
kind of tune it into whatever you're doing. And then the
Mhm.
pad also makes a huge difference. You know,
Oh, yeah.
we'll talk about it in our class today, but there's really 5 components to the polishing process. You know, there's the
Mhm.
paint you're working on, there's the chemical, there's the pad, there's the tool, and then there's the most important one, which is the operator. And
Mhm.
every operator polish is different too. So,
Mhm.
um, you know, that performance is affected greatly by each component of the system.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Alex at Turbo 6, I have a ceiling mounted Steel Pro Dragon heater. Works awesome for Canadian deep freeze. Natural gas forced air heaters work too.
I just like
Dragon
the sound of
heater.
it. I want a dragon heater.
Right. That is great. A dragon heater.
Yep.
I wish I owned a dragon.
You can barely manage a bulldog. What are you talking
I know.
about? And speaking of bulldogs, I haven't seen either that or the cat today. What's going on?
It's because Mike's upstairs in bed, and so they're both with him.
Oh, I see who the favorite human status
If
is with.
there's a human in the cozy bed, the animals are with said human.
Yeah.
Yes, Sarah, that's who it was. I'm all signed up for the class in Chicago. That's so great.
Oh, cool. We're gonna get to see
It's gonna be
Sarah. That's
awesome.
gonna be
Yes,
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah. And I think
Awesome,
there's still
awesome.
some seats left in that. So if you are interested, Car Supplies Warehouse is running the whole thing as far as signups. So you got to go to their website and sign up with them.
Yep. And Scott Graves is going to come by and see us. I don't think he's signing up for the class, but he's coming by to see us. So that's awesome.
Just come see us. Yeah, we'll be there all day Thursday and Friday is the class. So yeah,
Yep.
reach out, Scott. Let's plan to get together.
Mark says, "Do is ASU just DA?"
I don't
I
understand.
don't know. I don't either.
But Arizona State is doing fine. Yes.
Just, yeah.
Mark,
He's sending signals.
we're going to need a code breaker here shortly. Joey, get on that. Get us a program.
Yeah.
Anything
Anything
new
new
for
for
SEMA? A
SEMA?
ton.
Yes. Yes. SEMA's going to be great. Kyle, I hope you're coming to SEMA. Yes. So we have a couple new products coming out. Super excited about them. And yeah, it's going to be a great SEMA release for sure. And then, like we said, there may be an after party.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
We'll have
We're going to
that.
wear shirts that are going to say, but wait, there's more.
All right. Mark's just saying. I don't know what Mark's saying.
Okay.
Mark's just
Yep.
saying.
Alex Scott Graves.
Scott Graves. This is the Scott
A
Graves.
popular guy. Well,
Man,
he's the keg.
yeah,
He's the keg man. So yeah, he's popular.
Good morning, Kirby.
Good morning, Kirby.
So Kirby's getting over some weather because he's in Houston. He didn't get hit by the tornadoes, but I'm sure he got a lot of rain here recently. So,
Nice.
okay, here we go. Brian's got a question.
New to detailing, using Absolute for much of different areas of the vehicle. Wonderful smell and effective. Thank you for a solid offering. Thank you. We love Absolute. We're very proud of it. It is, man, such a great product. We really, really love it. So thanks for saying that. David, just got myself a triple espresso after a day of hard work in the rain. Oh, I feel bad for everybody. The rain coming.
Yeah, but it means it's fall. So, that's
Yeah,
part of it.
yeah. We do have the red leaves everywhere, which is so pretty.
Yeah, I may have to DoorDash myself another coffee this morning.
The Starbucks there is very fast.
It is, yeah. I got in late last night, and the plane was delayed, and so I'm a little short on the rest cycle. So
yeah, Turbo 6 to Alex. I was thinking of going a similar route, the Dragon one. We have a propane tank for heat, and the access is relatively simple. That's awesome.
Just make sure you're using the right tools for that stuff, guys.
Yeah. Shout out to DoorDash, Mocha Moose Mike. Yep. He likes to go to the Mocha Moose. Daryl says, "Good morning, Sydney and Keith. Absolute is my favorite wash. Me too."
Yes, we'll use it today in the training center. So it is our favorite around here as well.
This is Bradley laughing at the third shipment of the Bead Maker poster. So for those who don't know, we have been Bradley ordered a Bead Maker poster, and I'm not sure if the UPS guy stole it, but he got an empty tube. And then so we, Keith and I, packed another one ourselves. And again, the tube was missing the end, and they took out the Bead Maker poster again. And so this Thursday, when I'm with Keith in Hayward, we are going to quadruple tape and write a nasty note to the UPS guy saying, "What are you doing with all these Bead Maker posters? We're going to send Bradley another poster."
I have a plan for duct tape. I think
it's the funniest thing. It's the funniest thing.
Bradley's going to hate us because by the time we get that thing done being wrapped, he'll never be able to get into it without using the chainsaw. So
yeah.
We will fix this. If you're going to be at SEMA, we just bring it with us. That may be the culminating event is poster number 4, maybe at SEMA.
Funny. So. Yeah, so funny. Gosh. Joey, I don't think I've ever seen a 4Runner in red before. Sydney showed me what she was working on. Absolutely killed it on that detail. Yeah, that red's very cool. It's actually my second red one like that. A couple years ago, I had the same color red. It's so pretty. I can't believe they don't make more of them like that.
It's kind of really that candy apple red.
Yeah. And I think they only come in the TRD, which is probably why they're a little bit more rare, but such a pretty red. Such a pretty red.
I like that red too.
Yeah.
As you can imagine.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, rinseless is always a banger.
I haven't heard
Yeah,
that before. That's cool.
all these people with their snow foams. I love a good snow foam. Shout out to Frostbite, but I really just prefer to do rinseless washes.
Yeah.
Good 3M Auto Spa says, "Good morning, my detailing family. Happy Monday. Hope you all had a great weekend. Stay strong, positive, and healthy." Thank you. We are going to stay strong and positive this week.
Healthy may be a stretch, but we're
Healthy,
going to give it
we're
a
getting
shot.
there.
Yeah.
We're getting there. I'm kind of beat up from last week, but it sounds like this week's not going to go a whole lot better.
Well,
So,
but we are going to go to your favorite place on Thursday night. So we got that going for us.
yes, nice. Yep. I know, I was promised, right?
All right.
Um,
Force rotation polisher.
Okay, you mentioned using a force rotation polisher on the two-step. Shortly after you guys mentioned something about new tools, I would have to think maybe you have your hands on the new Flex. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe.
Well,
Whatever it was really great.
in, in fairness, I have the force rotation old Flex that's cordless, and it does a really good job too. So there's lots of tools out there. And who knows? Maybe there's somebody else with a different tool out. You don't know. Okay, so I really have to take a Spanish. You and I are taking a Spanish class for 2025. That's our
I
next.
got the first from Puerto Rico part.
That's all I got out of it. So, yeah.
Joe, Sid, I have another black Mustang. Why? Why? No, Joe, here's what you do. No.
Say
You
no.
say no. You just say no.
Or what you do is you go, "Hey, Cody."
Yeah.
Come on.
And you know how you text me every time and say, "Do you want to come help?" And I say, "No,
No.
because your scheduling person needs to go to the same class that my scheduling person needs to go to."
I don't know. Sherry's usually pretty on top of
Oh,
it.
that's right. Sherry does the scheduling. Well, tell Sherry to just say no to the Black Mustangs. You
Or
know what
just
though, to
schedule
be
for.
honest, I have not taken in another Black Mustang since I have had rehab in my life. So maybe my feelings would change. I don't know.
Well, maybe Joe needs to send us some feedback and a little bit of video so we can maybe see what it does.
Yeah, just tell me what the code is. Now, obviously, we all know because you guys see it in my videos. I do have a Black Mustang that I serviced. However, I coded that thing like 3.5 years ago. It's perfect. I'm the only person that's ever touched it. The owner's barely allowed to touch it, and it is perfect. And so I still wash that one, but God help me, I will not do another coating or correction on a Mustang. I've had the worst luck ever. But the one that I do still, so if you see it in my videos, I do still, because I'm the only person that's ever touched that Shelby GT.
So I'm
Yeah.
going to throw it out there to the Webiverse. Dude, if
Mhm.
somebody knows why the Ford Mustang paint is different than all the other Ford paint, because
Right.
I mean, I drive a Ford F-150 and I got
Yeah.
zero problems with the paint. It works out great. And
So easy to correct. Yeah.
the Mustang paint is so weird. I don't
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah. It's so weird.
Yeah.
What is the code?
Yeah. Well,
What is the code?
I think the code will probably have something to do with rehab, but what I don't get is why is the paint that way? So anybody knows, hey, look, I will
Yeah.
send you a bottle of rehab if you can
Yeah.
tell me why Ford Mustang paint is different than all the other Ford paint.
Yeah. Yeah. Anna says, definitely not me, meaning going to Chicago. I don't like flying and I do stuff on my layoffs. I'm a bridge carpenter welder. Awesome. Wow. Bridges.
So Anna is in the Northwest, which
Yes.
means you can come down to Lindsay's place in
Yeah.
November, which will be the week
Yeah.
after SEMA. It'll
Yeah.
be the weekend after SEMA, not the weekend after immediately, but a week, 10 days after SEMA ends, or 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever it is. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Wait a minute. You work on bridges and you don't fly. That's interesting. It just hit me. I'm like, I'd rather fly than hang off of a bridge, and I've done both.
Mhm. I don't know what this one says.
Somebody help us with that.
Joey, SEMA? Oh,
SEMA.
Joey's gonna come to
Oh,
SEMA.
we can say it because
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
we're full.
Yeah.
We have special McCall's team guests
Mhm.
that will be highlighted in the booth this year. And Joey, even though we couldn't get him there this year because he had an illness, he's on
Mhm.
next year's McCall's team already. So that he's a team member number one. but he will be in the booth working with PNS for a
Yeah.
few hours on one of the days. So
Yeah, I think he's on Thursday, if I remember right.
I do believe he is. And we probably
Yeah.
need to publish that schedule. So look for that
Yeah.
as well.
Super cool. Lindsay,
Woo!
good morning. My favorite product of the week for me is Carpet Bomber. Saved my brand new Lululemon joggers. That's important. That's important. You know what I do, Lindsay, that is one of my favorite things is I have a spray bottle of Rags to Riches in my shop, and anytime I get anything on myself, I just spray it down with Rags to Riches and wipe it off. Same thing as Carpet Bomber. Not same product, but I mean same effect. But I love to use Rags. I'm constantly like washing my clothes while I'm wearing them with Rags to Riches. But yes, Carpet
It's a
Bomber,
method.
always a goat. That one. Always. Alex, wanting to do an EnviroClean video. What's everyone's favorite use that I can showcase? Everything.
Everything.
EnviroClean is just great. I use EnviroClean a lot on, I do use it a lot on rubber floor mats, but I think probably my favorite thing to use EnviroClean is here in Idaho, we get like that, like sludge down the sides of cars. It's not, I don't, what do the boys call it? Traffic film. It's like sludge. And so especially on like white cars. So it's not necessarily contamination, it's like goo. And so when I have a car like that, I'll use EnviroClean as my pre-spray to my
Mhm.
rinseless wash, and it just makes all that stuff come off. So I love EnviroClean. I also, EnviroClean gets dedicated to minivans. All minivans get absolutely showered with EnviroClean.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't admit that out loud.
No, somebody needs to. And hey, honestly, one of my favorite uses for EnviroClean is if you have that super dingy light tan or whitish
Yeah. You know
leather.
the Honda Odyssey Gray? The Honda
Yeah, that
Odyssey
stuff too.
Gray. Oof,
It just sucks in
oof.
the dirt.
Yeah.
EnviroClean, and we love Express. We're huge Express fans, but EnviroClean is just is that extra, right? It's
Yeah.
just got the extra, and
Yeah.
it does get in there and get it done. So
Mhm.
I do love EnviroClean for that, and quite frankly, I like it for cleaning an engine when I don't when it's just dirty and grimy. It's really good
Mhm.
for that too. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, we could go on all day about the things we use EnviroClean for.
Yeah. I love EnviroClean.
See.
David, I don't know EnviroClean. It's in the Chemtrol line, but it's been around forever. It's really, really great. Love it.
Yeah, and the nice thing is if you're looking
It's
for a dilutable all-purpose cleaner,
yeah.
there you have it, you
Yep.
know?
Yep. It's kind of a citrus-based all-purpose cleaner. It's great.
Yeah.
Anna says, detailing is my hobby and side hustle, considering going full-time in the next year, 2026. Awesome.
Well, when you do, you can't reach out to 2 better folks than Sydney and Lindsay and chat with them about their journey because, they're in your region, and I'm sure they have some pretty good input for you.
Mhm. Joe, the Kimballs have a few cars going this year to SEMA and 6 set for 2025. That is amazing.
Congratulations, guys, that's awesome, you know?
Super awesome.
Yep.
Alex, go Anna. Anna, it's my side job too. I know how it is. Yeah, it is hard to do as your side job.
Okay, they're having a whole conversation, and we
They're
got
having a whole conversation.
I'm not kidding. Okay, we probably
Pickleball. I got pickleball. Oh gosh.
okay.
Too funny. Happy Thanksgiving from Canada. Hello, everyone. Happy
And so glad
Thanksgiving.
the Canadians are using Canadian English so we can
Hmm.
understand it.
Too funny. Louise says, is it safe to use Absolute and Epic on a freshly painted panel? Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
I mean, Epic has a little bit of carnauba in it, but it's not going to lock, it's not
yeah,
enough to seal in the vapors. So no, I think you're probably fine. You just don't want to
well,
use like Bead Maker or Defender.
yeah, I wouldn't seal it, but I think you're probably
Yeah.
fine with
Yeah.
definitely with Absolute,
Yeah.
because there's no sealant in that. But
Yeah.
I might hesitate a little bit with Epic, but you're probably fine.
Epic, yeah, you're probably fine. If you had your choice, if you're looking for a quick detailer, I would mix Absolute a little bit different to be a quick detailer and or grab paint gloss. Epic, like we say, you're probably fine, but it does have a little bit of carnauba in it. A little bit.
There's a whole conversation going. Bead Maker and Coffee has gone bilingual, and the hosts don't know anything.
Yeah. Ramiro. Morning, everyone. Rehab is awesome. Yes.
Dude, come to the training center and see me. I think Ramiro's in the building today or tomorrow.
I keep missing those guys when I'm in the building. I just am so crazy busy when I get there. New product, beads like sheets.
Well, that could be a possibility.
Yeah. Yep. Saying hello back and forth. Markabar, this may be a question for Dave, but what's your take on roofing coatings?
Are we talking graphene, Mark? Or are we talking? Oh, there she is. We're getting the best view of her too. We're getting the right end of the cat.
Miss Graceful back there.
Yeah. If he's talking about graphene, we can go on all day about what we think of graphene, but
do you think that's what he means, graphene?
Oh, I don't know. Hopefully he'll pop back in and answer.
Okay. First from Puerto Rico. On freshly painted panel, it lets the gas off 3 months before applying protection. Is what is advisable?
Yeah, and I would say that also will depend a little bit on the paint. Now cure a little faster.
Yeah.
Because they're water-based, not solvent. But yes, generally the industry accepted standard is 60 to 90 days before you do any sealing of that, so it has a chance to kind of really set up and cure. Yep.
Yes, you can wash it with Absolute. Yeah, Sydney has hinted about this since she's co-hosted the TRC Q&A with Anthony a few weeks ago. I'm not sure what that was in regards to. Hinted.
New products.
Probably hinted towards new products.
A lot of new products, yeah.
Yeah. How is the F15 wash and wax? What's the F15 wash and wax? Is that just regular?
Is part number, F15. Oh. So F15, and if it's got a 01, it's a gallon and all that stuff. The wash and wax is great. That is an old-fashioned wash and wax product. It is, if you're doing all new cars or you're doing fleet work and you're washing the car and you're not needing to do any detail work to it with the paint, and you're just maintaining them every week, dude, that's a great product. You just wash with it and off you go. So, not going to give you the durability of even a Carnauba cream hand applied wax or anything beyond that. But yeah, great product if you're doing it on a daily.
Yeah. Alex, our cheerleader, says there's 42 people watching and only 6 likes. Let's pump those likes up for our favorite Monday crew. Thanks, Alex.
Okay, now they're getting Ramiro in on this. So
please smash and blast the like button.
All right.
Anna says, I also work on fleet semis and they're never clean. I bet.
Yeah, and for those, if you're like I say, if you were doing the Amazon rigs every week, wash and wax is the way to go. I mean, it really is. It's going to help you with dirt coming off, and it's an easy
and with a EnviroClean pre-spray, right? I'd be putting that stuff in the keg and just soaking it down.
It's exactly what you should put in your keg instead of weed killer.
Yes. Scott says mini split systems in my garage, heat and AC, greatest thing ever.
Yeah, no, those mini splits, and they've come down in price over the last few years. They're super affordable.
Yeah, mine was best money ever spent, literally. Josh Pierce, good morning. Sorry I'm late.
JP, Josh Pierce, who had an actual hawk in his shop.
I saw that.
Literally a hawk. Cool. So in the rafters. Cool.
Josh, are you watching our Boise State Broncos out there killing it? I saw him wearing his shirt in his IDA message. It was great. Alex, I did not go to a summit. It sounds like a heck of a time, though. We're going to see Alex in April. Super excited about that. I wish he was going to SEMA.
I do too. But we'll go see him.
Yeah. Daryl, I don't get any requests for waxing with Bead Maker or other spray coatings out there. PNS makes great products. Yep. I think he was asking about because people want wax.
Oh, yeah.
So here's
Well,
the thing, Daryl. I feel like I have people say to me that they want wax too, and I just explain to them. I mean, it's because the average person doesn't know the
right.
technology. So even when people say, "Can I get my car waxed?" I break it down for them. I use that as an education opportunity, and I break it down for them. Um, what a wax is, why I don't use it, and I let them know that it really just hides imperfections. And I flat out tell them, like, I don't use it because when you pick your car up, you're going to think I did such a great job. And in 2 weeks, you're going to think I'm the worst detailer ever. Like, I give them that visual. And so I talk to them about the difference in sealants and things like that. And then most people understand. I mean, I just prefer to leave behind actual protection. Now, if it's somebody coming in with a 69 Mustang that just wants, that's different, then I might use a wax. But even in those cases, I still do Bead Maker with Dream Maker over it to get the wax pop, honestly. That's what's so great about Dream Maker. For those that don't know about it, is Dream Maker gives you that Carnauba wax look, you know, and it's much easier to apply than a wax. So,
Totally. I think the best place for a wax, though, is on that vintage car that maybe the
yeah,
paint, you just don't want to turn
yeah,
the pool on it, and you
right.
want to fill in a lot of stuff
Yeah,
and try and, just make
totally.
it look better. And you know what? I'd still throw a Dream Maker over the top of it after I was done anyway.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. For sure.
So Anna's got a great point here, and I'm totally on board with you, Anna.
Yeah,
Part of those commercial fleet vehicles, the reason why they're that way is because that thing's a tool. It's no different than a wrench in your bag.
yeah, yeah.
Those guys go out, and the drivers of those things go out and use them
Mhm.
for what they're intended for. The
Yeah.
appearance isn't usually what they care about. So,
Mhm.
um,
Yep.
that's just kind of how it looks.
Mhm. I use a Mr. Heater. Not heard of that.
I haven't either.
Mr. Heater.
All right. I don't know what Chemex is.
I don't either.
Here we go. Somehow we are on the power and
Yeah.
wattage of heaters today. So this is
Yes,
cool.
it's because it's coming. The time is coming. My garage is fully insulated, and I have a small 220-volt electric heater that warms up the garage to 60 degrees in about a half an hour. It never goes below 40. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's a win. And that I think that's the bigger thing to state is if the garage is insulated and you have
Yeah.
an insulated garage door,
Oh,
which,
huge difference. Yeah.
makes a huge difference in heat retention, and not getting too cold. So
Hmm. First from Puerto Rico. Here we have summertime all year long, and humidity is always above 75%.
right. So in that case, guys, an air conditioner because it's going to dehumidify at the same time.
Dehumidify.
Just
Yep.
absolutely a must. I gotta believe.
Yep. Anna says the shop has no wash bay, and I'm not paid to clean them. I'm either fixing them or working bridges. No time for IR.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. But rinseless would work there really well. So you got that going for you.
Hmm.
All right, we're coming down the home stretch here. We're going to go speed round.
Yep. Daryl says I'm in Cleveland, Ohio, so I don't do a lot of detailing in the winter months, but when I do, my Mr. Heater works well. That's awesome.
Yep. Oh, we already got that one.
Got that one. John says, so my project of the week is Bead Maker. I did a wash clay seal this weekend on a beautiful 3-axle motorhome. I used a lot of Bead Maker, a couple clay scrubbers, and a lot of rags. Came out stunning. Awesome. That is my favorite way to use Bead Maker. I know I saw another comment saying that somebody watched the Bead Maker wash clay seal video last week. So there was a great video come out on the Rag Company YouTube channel with me doing a wash clay seal, and absolutely Bead Maker and the clay towel, awesome together. Absolutely awesome. All right, David says, in what situations would you use Dream Maker or paint gloss besides as a drying aid? I would not use Dream Maker as a drying aid. It doesn't work real great. It's very viscous. Dream Maker really is probably more meant to be put on dry paint. Paint gloss you can absolutely use as a drying aid, or Bead Maker is a great drying aid as well. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, my first choice for drying aid out of our lineup would probably be Bead Maker. I
Hmm.
think, right off the bat.
Yep.
And then maybe paint gloss, but I still would go Bead Maker first.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
all right, easy fast wax.
I don't
Yeah,
know. Is that I don't know what that is.
That's paste wax. So
Oh, okay.
again, paste wax are great if you're trying to put some depth of in the paint without having to do a lot of paint correction, that kind of stuff. But you know, I think the last time I used a can of paste wax was in the 80s. So I will be honest, I have not used our fast wax in a long time.
Bradley says put a lock on it, his tube. Yeah,
Yeah.
we will. You're going to wish that we didn't because you're going to have a hard time getting in it.
Oh, Bradley will be at Mobile Tech. So, hey, look,
Tech, yep.
This saga, if it doesn't get completed this week, could drag all the way out to, because we're not shipping another one after this one. If this one doesn't get there, we will hand deliver in Mobile Tech.
Dang, people stealing even posters. I know, right?
Well, they are
like, what are they going to do? It says like, hey, Bradley, like, what are they going to do with it?
I literally think that the end wasn't on one end of it and it just popped off and the thing came out, and you know how that goes. So
yeah. No, so funny. I can't seem to find the matte paint coating. Did you mean the matte finish protectant? Yes,
we meant the matte finish protectant. Hey, look who's here.
Look who's there. He doesn't want to say good morning to us.
He knows we're live on the air.
Anna says, I have built the conveyors that UPS use. The banner is probably falling out and being eaten by it. Oh, I'm sure. Good morning, Bob.
He's wearing the quail shirt. He's
Hello, ready to go. Quail shirt. I love the quail shirt. The quail shirt.
I have you guys plugged in on every TV in the building. So
nice.
Yeah, I do.
Nice.
Matt's annoyed because the TVs aren't syncing in the front office. There's 2 TVs. He says, "Hey, it's off. It's
off cycle.
Off cycle." Yeah.
I love that Matt watches Bead Maker and Coffee.
Does he watch it or is he forced
I'm not
to
sure
watch
he watches it.
Oh, he does, because he tells me about my hair all the time.
What's the dilution ratio for interiors with Absolute, and in what areas I would be able to use it? I think all hard surfaces would be my answer for what areas.
Yeah.
And
so
glass.
You can use it on soft surfaces too. I use it to clean seats for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I use it in my extractor to rinse the carpet system out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your ratio on that?
Same ratio, 256-1.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is my ratio for everything except for like a quick detailer. I might do 128-1. A clay lube, I'm more like 64-1, if not 128-1. But really only quick detailer, clay lube are different, but everything else is 256-1. Yeah.
Yeah, and we sympathize on the work truck thing. They trash them. So
yeah. Yep.
I heard Mustangs are being painted and built in different factories.
They've got to be. They've got to be.
We had to go to Germany or to Europe to get the right answer.
Yeah, they have to be. It's ridiculous. I can coat them, no issue. It's the paint correction, Ron. It's the paint correction.
Yeah.
Especially that back end. Like, what's with the back end?
Yeah.
Yes, Ford, finicky, obviously Rehab detail. Yeah.
Oh.
Ford is better than Chevy. Maybe.
I hold on. We got to go back.
Okay. Yeah.
FORD.
Yeah.
Finicky,
I get it. Oh, Alex, you're so funny. Yeah.
Well, that's better than found on road dead or something like that. So
yeah, fix or repair daily. That's what my dad always told me.
Fix or repair daily. Yeah.
Ford paint is better than Chevy. Now, I will agree on certain years on that for sure. Like GM paint from like 2015 to 20 now is ridiculous.
Yep.
I don't like TSA in the airport process. I like flying in heights. Yeah.
I got
It's
you.
not too bad though. It's not too bad if you have a TSA clear and pre-check. It's not too bad. UPS should be taking corrective action since I bet they've had lots of complaints and they should be checking that out. Yeah, probably. But I think it's been happening for the history of UPS. I'm honored, Keith. I will make it for sure.
Okay. I can't have 2 no-shows in a row.
Ooh. To live in a bubble prior to next year just to be safe.
Yep.
For sure. You're going to be on quarantine for a month before you go.
Yeah.
So good luck with the whole month of July next year. He'll be on quarantine anyway. He literally went out to eat one place and then it was over. Hans, yes, there will be a detailing summit at my shop in November. Oh, that's cool. Nice.
Dude, that's cool. Congratulations.
That's awesome. Ron says, how is wash and wax? Does it foam? Is it more for a bucket? It foams. Yeah, it foams.
It's a bucket foaming wash. I mean, it's a hand wash soap. It is not
But you can put it in a foam cannon. I put it in a foam cannon.
Yeah, you probably will run it a lot stronger than you would say frostbite.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything with a wax built into it is not going to foam quite the same as something without.
Yeah, so. It's more of a wet foam, not a shaving cream foam. Yeah. Yep. Do I apply full send to tires every time, or does it last? It lasts a few weeks, and it depends. So if you're talking a customer's car, you're going to want to apply it every time. But like on my personal cars, my daughter drives a Jeep Wrangler, and she probably only puts it on every third or fourth wash because it does last. You know, it keeps the tires black. So for her, she's like, if she can just rinse her tires and wheels and not have to reapply, it stays pretty. I mean, like hers always washes up really good and she doesn't need to reapply it. So she does it every third or fourth wash.
Yep.
Anna, Mustang paint is different because they use a different process compared to the rest of Ford. It's still a lot of paint by person instead of robots and dipping. Well, whatever it is, it's evil.
But that answers a lot of questions. No, but that does answer why it's totally different.
Yeah. Sydney, I watched your video on a clay bar and seal. Great video. Thank you.
Nice work.
First from Puerto Rico, Anno, yes. And some of the panels, mostly plastics, are done by machine, and mix are obviously not as precise as mix on different batches. I don't know what it is, but it's terrible.
All right. Mark says we'll talk at SEMA. All right.
Perfect. Romero says, I will be there once I arrive. Always good. I have been on the road heavy for Steven the last few months, but I will stop by and say hi on Thursday. Perfect. We'll be there till what time are we leaving on Thursday, Keith? We'll all be there, Romero.
Yeah,
we're leaving at like
in here for an hour
10?
Thursday, and then we may come back in the afternoon. Yeah.
Morphine.
Okay, I may see Dave today. I'll ask him about morphine. It's not a topic we've had a conversation about.
Yeah, haven't heard of that one. Smash it.
Yes, give us a like, a follow, a love, anything you can do.
If you were going to two-step with Rehab, what 2 pads? I'm going to grab a Mark 5 at the end of this bridge. So I would do, if you want to do a true 2-step, I would do like a wool and an orange or yellow. And you know what's cool about when you do this is you don't even have to wipe the polish off in between. You can go, do the section, don't even bother wiping it off, switch to a yellow pad, go over it and polish it. You don't even have to wipe it off.
Yeah, we did that on our last class here in the training center. It went fantastic. And we went, because there was still a lot of damage. We went with the wool, and then we came back with the blueberry.
Yeah, and there was parts of that Forerunner that I actually did wool, and then I actually came back with the maroon as my polish pad.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but did you see that thing? Yeah, it was murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had a Nissan, so again, if your paint's hard and brittle, you may have to go with a more aggressive polish pad on your second step. If your paint's pretty soft, you're going to go to something like the orange or the yellow, because it's really going to depend on the paint and how it finishes out, depending on how soft it is.
Yeah. David says Mustang paint has different specs because some parts are made of metal and some are made of plastic. They try to match it. The paint-based primers are different. Some Mustang had paint issues due to no equal layers.
All right, David, you win the technical answer of the day, man. Thank you so much for that. That's cool. That's good to know.
Is Bob cleaning the bathroom?
I think so. I think that's what's happening.
How is it? It's red soap. Does it foam well?
It's red soap is a traditional hand wash soap. It's a little more of a stripper soap. So it's a little more aggressive, designed, and actually for Anna, this would be a great product for you to use on those dirty shop trucks up there. It's that kind of a product. Does really well. It will foam. Again, not designed to go in a foam cannon, but any wash soap that's 128-1, we find can pretty easily go in a foam cannon. You're just going to use more soap in there than you would say with like a frostbite, where you've got 4 ounces in a 16-ounce cup as opposed to something else.
Yeah.
All right. Can Rehab do a 3-step, or what pads? Yes, I haven't done a 3-step with it. Have you?
Well, I would never feel like I need to. And what I say, I mean, honestly, most of my 1-step corrections with Rehab will rival any 2-step correction that I've seen, right? And so I just don't feel like you would ever need to do a 3-step, but you probably could. You would just switch to like a black, but I just don't, I don't know. I mean, Rehab does so much correction that,
Yeah.
like I say, I get, how we say like with a first step, you might get 50% and then, you might get another 10% out of your second step. I'm getting like, 70% correction out of a 1-step. And so I just feel like it does so much work that most of my 1-steps rival any 2-steps that I used to do, for sure. So you absolutely could. You would just keep changing your pad, but I just don't know that it would really be, I don't know that you'll find that it's necessary.
Yeah, I don't know that you will either. So
yeah.
Process.
The process is different, probably meaning washing those vehicles.
Yeah.
David, do I deserve a bottle of Rehab?
Yeah. So David, hit me up.
Yeah.
Hit me up.
We might even have special bottles
where
left.
I've got access, so hit me up.
Yeah, we might even have special bottles left. So yeah. So David, send us a message on social media. We'll get you a bottle.
Yep.
We know some people that know some people.
We know a guy.
Yeah. He might not be there for a couple weeks, but we know a guy. Super Auto says AI says a Mustang's black paint can differ from other Ford black paints due to a few factors, including specific paint formula designed for the Mustang model, slight variations in color and tone. Well, that's amazing and unfortunate. That's depending on the production year and the application process used on Mustang assembly line. That's crazy.
But it sounds like if it's hand painted, there's probably a little more material on it than if it was, robot painted.
Yep.
So
yeah, Stilly's Mobile says, "Hi Sid." Hi. Working conveyors is also why I don't like flying, because I watch them destroy people's luggage. That's true.
Well, there's that. You got a good point there.
Yeah, there's that. Cron. How is it? Oh, we already did that one.
Somehow those keep popping up as double ones.
Morning, boss man. Is he talking to you or Bob?
He's talking to that guy.
He probably sees the guy in the back.
Yeah. Yes, that is Bob, Joey. That's
It
Bob.
is Bob. He's cleaning the bathroom. That's so funny. It must be bad.
I hope that's Bob.
He's working hard. Look at him. He's got towels and scrubbers and all sorts of stuff back there.
It's
Bob's the goat.
Bob.
Super Auto, that's what I was saying. The process is different. Mustangs have the most color options and graphic options, so Ford uses an easy way to change colors so that other factories use robots.
Okay.
Romero, GM paint is horrible. Experienced at a dealership, had 10 new off the truck sitting under trees for 2 weeks. Dealer employees were getting ready to sell one and found trees off. Oh gosh. Yeah.
Get
GM
the tree
paint
sap
is,
remover out.
Yeah. GM paint is equally as horrible. Ron, yes, I decon with crystal wash with pearl, and use Rehab for correction on Mustangs. I just need to I don't know. We'll see if I ever.
Well, next time you get a Mustang, we haven't played with it with Rehab on it, so.
Right. Yeah, on all new 10 new cars. That's horrible. Can I use Epic and Absolute in the same dilution ratio? Epic, no, you don't dilute Epic, and Absolute just at 256 to 1, maybe 128 to 1 as a drying aid. Epic, I don't really like Epic as a drying aid, to be honest, because the Carnauba smears. I wouldn't use Epic as a drying aid. I use Epic as a pre-spray.
And Epic you might, if you want to use it in volume, you probably could get away with 1-to-1 dilution ratio. I know a bunch of detailers who've done that, mobile guys, but I wouldn't dilute Epic too much.
Here's what I'm going to say about Epic, because I do use a lot of Epic. Is I use Epic as my pre-spray to my rinseless wash. So I do Epic, wash with Absolute, and then I find I don't need a drying aid. Right? Because you're getting a little bit of that. So try that. Try Epic first, then Absolute, and then dry without a drying aid. Dang, Bob's been working out. Sheesh.
He just came from the gym, and now that his shoulder has recovered mostly from surgery, he is back on the gym track. So, yeah.
Can he hear us? Does he know that we're all talking about him?
He does. He's just ignoring us. He's making fun. Bob goes to the gym because Sydney and I don't. That's why.
Gabriel, a little bit late, but good morning, Keith and Queenie. Good morning, Gabriel.
Good morning, Gabriel. Well, we're running a little bit late. We're way over time today.
Yeah, we're way over time, but we got lots of comments. Jeez Louise. David, also like Han said, factory quality personnel. The finish control isn't so controlled and looked at with a good eye for detailing mistakes. Yeah. Well, they scratch so easy. They just scratch when you wipe them with a towel. Bob did some heavy lifting with rehab gallons. Yep.
We
He
got it.
packed them all himself. Yeah. Without a good eye, mostly just let it go attitude. I got to figure that out.
Yeah.
Oof. Hold on,
Oof.
Tinker Peterbilt. Is that
Yeah.
Joe peeking in? Special bottles, tell me more. I can't.
And the SEMA.
You might see it trade in for a stroop waffle soon enough.
Yeah.
What is the durability of full send? You know, all durability is all subject to what car it is, where it lives, what it's doing, all that kind of stuff. I find that full send lasts on my vehicles a good couple weeks, but my vehicles are also babied. So
Yep.
if you're going to drive it right back out in the sand dunes,
Doesn't matter.
right.
Hey, we're hardly
working hard or hardly working. Bob can crush a can of no rub with an arm flex. Probably.
Yeah. Well, we'll let him try.
We should try. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stilly just woke up and had a weird dream. I was cleaning pool tables with natural finish and Bead Maker. Clean it. You should probably try something different. Rehab with the Buff and Shine Maroon Pad removes close to 100% of swirls and that's my number one combo.
Sydney's pad is
love the maroon one.
I'm kind of
the maroon pad before Rehab, I wouldn't even touch that thing. It scared the bejesus out of me. But yeah, the maroon pad with Rehab is fierce.
All right, last comment of the day. Epic is great. Thanks to Gabriel, I have 3 gallons.
Nice. Very good. Well, kids, we got to wrap this up. We're 30 minutes over. You guys have been super chatty today, but is there a good way to learn what pads to use? Stay tuned. We're going to work on that. It's been on our list for a long time to work on pads and colors and doing all that. So it is on my list. It might be a 2025, but stay tuned for that. Basically, though, in very short, is the harder the pad, the more cut it does. The softer the pad, the more polish it does. It's kind of the best way that I can.
We've been waiting for one pad to come into existence. It is now in the building. We just confirmed that last week. I'm going to go get some myself.
Yeah.
So I think the free ride pad line is now kind of complete. So maybe post SEMA we'll get around to that video.
Yeah, for sure. But thank you. Yes, but thank you everybody for joining us. We will be back in 2 weeks plus 1 day. Remember, we'll be back the 29th of October. It'll be on a Tuesday, and that will be just right before we go to Chicago and the week before SEMA. So we still won't be able to tell you what the new products are, but we'll certainly be there to tease. And we'll be back with a great guest, and let's hope we survive the next 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, well, and also keep in mind that we'll probably do a go live with the guys at Chicago. So and we may go live again Thursday or Friday during our tour. So kind of keep an eye on the social media. We'll try and let you guys know if we're going to do it.
For sure.
But we've got plenty of opportunities for that. And then of course SEMA will be a special reveal show. Somehow we'll figure out how we're going to do the reveals there. So
Yep, for sure. All right, everybody have a great couple weeks, and we will see you in a couple weeks.
We'll see you in a couple weeks.